Spirit Halloween ISEs are an absolute focal point of any Spirit Halloween store. Like, the whole point is to interact with the new animatronics they have for sale. You see, nowadays props don't really directly relate to the theme, but from 2015 and prior, most of the props and themes seem to always make some sense. Now, personally, I like the older themes, one, because they seem more immersive, and two, because I have a serious problem called nostalgia. So much so that I'm trying to collect all the props from a particular theme called the Wicked Woods from Spirit Halloween 2009, and today I just want to show you my current collection of the Wicked Woods. Hello everyone, welcome back to the Apache Halloween YouTube channel, and in today's video we are going to be doing something a little different, and that is looking at 4 props / animatronics that were all together in a theme that was over 15 years ago now, and that was the Wicked Woods. And I got 4 of the more well-known characters, I think, from that theme that I want to show you all today, all together. And I think this is just a really cool way to show how props kind of bounced off of each other back then, and they all kind of fit together into some greater theme. Nowadays we have clowns in cemeteries and factory ISEs, which to me aren't necessarily the most Halloweeny and might not make the most sense. I do like the thought process and the ideas that Spirit Halloween goes into trying to recreate new, different themes and stuff. But back in the day, it was very simple and scary and just traditional Halloween, which is kind of what I like. So I just thought showing these props all together would be something that you guys might want to see. So all 4 of these props came out 15 years ago, which is really long for a retail animatronic. And all these fully work, which is really amazing, and I'm really happy with that. And they all have their fair share of work that was needed to be done for them to be able to work. The newest one to my collection is the deadlift zombie, which I got recently. And he was mechanically had some problems, but cosmetically wise, he was in amazing shape considering 15 years. The latex is all still nice and soft, very minimal dry rot in really anywhere. Grinning Gertrude over here is, again, fully functional, but she has some mechanical structural problems. Welds have broken, and we have repaired them for now, but in the future I plan to actually totally re-weld them the proper way. Right now it's just JB welded together, but she's working. She has her head turn motor and as well as her battery pack, eyes, and voice setup, and I also have her connected to an external speaker, which is pretty cool as well. Third up, we have the Reaper of Souls, which is probably the most iconic piece that came out of the Wicked Woods. He's very well known, very sought after, and probably regarded as one of the best Spirit Halloween props ever created. Again, he has some dry rotting problems on his hands, but that will be replaced soon. His head is a recreation head that I sculpted myself that is supposed to be highly inspired by the original sculpt, and I would say from 10 feet away you could not tell that there's much difference. The last prop we're looking at is the Hanging Banner Witch, and she was kind of the archway entrance piece. She has light up eyes, and that's about it. She basically has a simple metal armature that makes up her arms and neck area, and she's pretty cool. She can hang anywhere you want, and she's very versatile and can be an awesome entrance to any swamp display. Another thing I'd like to show you are the boxes. Now, unfortunately, I don't have the box for the Banner Witch, but I do have the boxes for the other 3, which I think are the main important ones. Right here we have Grinning Gertrude's box, which is the most beaten up, I guess you could say, but you could still make out what it says, and you can see her picture, and it's got the old, amazing slime font, the very nostalgic font that Spirit Halloween used to have. These boxes in general are just so much more visually pleasing, I would say, and just so much more to look at. One thing I think is funny on Gertrude's box specifically is it has a warning label that says, "Do not dispose of this product in fire." That sentence right there is just funny, but then it continues, "As batteries inside this product may explode or leak." Okay, it makes sense there, but the first part, "Do not dispose in fire." Yeah, I was going to burn Gertrude. The next one here is the Deadlift Zombies box. I think this one is in the best shape, I would say. And here it is. It's a very clear image, very few scuff marks, just a couple right here. And you can see all the font is really vibrant. Very minimal wear, I would say. Just tells you about like sound activated. Here's the funny line, the infamous line, be the house where all the cool ghouls want to hang out. Yeah. Here's the back, just another thing showing its rising motion, which is pretty cool. I don't know if they really do that often anymore, showing like it in different ranges of motion. This guy retailed for originally $150 back in 2009, and Gertrude retailed for only $130. And then last but not least, we got the Reaper of Souls, which is the biggest box out of the three, and it's in pretty good shape. There's a few creases and wrinkles, but nothing too crazy. You could see big Reaper right there, big font, Reaper of Souls. You knew what you were getting with this guy. This thing is very dominant in the theme. I would say is like the tallest piece there. Very big box as well. But here's the sides. Eyes light up, mouth moves when speaking, which was probably a big deal back in 2009. Not many props necessarily did that. Here's the back side with him in like the off position. And I don't see the price tag on here. Oh, I do. It's actually covered up by duct tape, but this guy retailed for $200, I believe, back in 2009. So here's all the boxes all together. Pretty cool to see them all together, because the only time you'd really see them together was probably in a store back in 2009. I'm sure collectors out there have them, of course, but it's just cool to see. It's also cool to see how different Gertrude's box in general. You can see that these two right here are pretty similar in the background and stuff, but Gertrude, on the other hand, has some different pictures. You see it gets really like a dark purplish color up here. And another thing I thought is interesting is that she has like this brick texture and then cobwebs in the corners, which is pretty different. The other two do not have that. And I don't know if any other props from 2009 or really at all have that texture, which might make it kind of an exclusive design. I don't know what they were thinking with that, but I think it's kind of cool. Now that we've seen the characters and their boxes, let's actually see what they do. So here is Deadlift, and I have him on one of my wireless remotes, and if you haven't checked out that video on how I make this, be sure to check it out. It's just a new way, not a new way, but a way that I found that makes it convenient to trigger animatronics wirelessly. No more try me button wires that you have to manually press. You can just press this little key fob right here and trigger an animatronic wherever you'd like. So I think I have him on, I think it's D, button D, let's see. Yes, that's right. So it's a very generic animation, just rising up and has the head turn. I would love to see Spirit Halloween bring something like this, just very simple and I would say effective, just a great scene booster, adds some movement to any scene. He's just a good background character prop, I would say. I also like his soundtrack. I really like the brains and just the background of the soundtrack. The bell rings, I think, is pretty cool. It adds some ominous feelings to it. Overall, a very solid animatronic, I would say. Next up, we have Grinning Gertrude. Now, believe it or not, she was the cheapest of the three, as stated before. It's a 5-foot tall prop. The hat makes it 6 feet tall, but I don't know if you'd count it or not. Her forehead, basically, is probably around the 5-foot mark. But it was just such a crazy thing nowadays to see like a life-size 5-6 foot tall animatronic for less than $200. So this one being $130 was insane. Now I know inflation and back in the day in 2009 and stuff, yeah, but it's still pretty cool to see. And she is a very generic prop, very simple animation. It's just a reindeer motor basically that's turning the head side to side that gets plugged in, and then the sound and lights are separate. But I'd argue that, again, this is an awesome background character to add to any scene. Just adds movement and liveliness and makes any display feel more immersive. I think she has like 3 or 4 sayings, and she's on button C. So I gotta turn her on because her sensor doesn't like turn off if you have her plugged in the Try Me. They weren't that advanced yet, I guess. So I just had it turned off just to stop being annoying. See? So that's one. Let's see another one. Another one.
Hello, my sweet. Come a little closer.
I think there's one more.
Seeing you little people makes me so happy and so hungry.
And then again, she's hooked up to an external speaker to make her sound louder. She has a really small, dinky little speaker that's connected to her, but it's really quiet. There's like no bass to it. Very simple and generic. You can barely hear it outside. So I decided to bypass it and use a speaker that's really louder and much more high quality. And then last for animatronics, we have the amazing Reaper of Souls, and he is awesome. This guy's more of like a main attraction prop. He wouldn't necessarily, I would say, be a background prop, although you probably could have him as a background prop, but I would like to have him more in a centralized location because he's kind of like a enter at your own risk kind of a prop. Greetings prop, I would say, is pretty cool. I have him usually in the front of the cemetery, right at the entrance, and he works pretty well. So let's see him. He's on button B.
May the demons of the underworld have mercy on your soul. Foolish mortal, behold your destiny and despair. If you think the dead rest in peace, think again.
You see, I would demo the Banner Witch, but, you know, she's just a prop. She doesn't do anything. Her eyes just light up, and she just looks creepy. So there you have it. You have the 4 prompts that I thought are the most influential, I guess, animatronics that came out from the Wicked Woods. And you saw how they all work. I do wish that I did have the other 3 and could make a full display piece. And then there's some other props as well, like those 2 greeting witches. I don't remember their names right now, but it'd be cool to see all that together. But it's very hard to find props for good prices as well as in good, decent shape. I think I'm more interested in a prop if it's good shape cosmetically wise, as mechanical can always be repaired most of the time. But latex, you can't reverse the dry rot of latex, and a lot of these old props were all latex. But I always look. You never know what you might find on Facebook Marketplace. That's always the best place, I think, to look. So if there's ever an animatronic that you're looking for, just keep checking Marketplace. I bet you it'll eventually come up. And eventually, I mean, it might take a couple years, but the things I found on Marketplace is pretty cool. That's all I really have to say about these guys. Some of the best props that came out of the Wicked Woods or in Spirit Halloween 2009 in general, I think are right here. These are some of the most memorable ones, I would say. And that's why I wanted to make a video just to show them all together. I think is something that's pretty cool. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to show you guys these props all together, all synced up, working together, doing what they do. And I think it'll be pretty cool. I add some lighting to it and stuff. But yeah, that's all I have to say for you guys. Let's get into those demos, and I will see you all in the next video.